And to Scott's point, we're seeing a rise in bankruptcies. However, as we alluded to earlier,
right.
with this new HUD guideline on loss mitigation and instituting the COVID waterfall for all debtors,
right.
that might have an impact on how many foreclosure-related bankruptcies are started in the next 18 months. So the reg extended the COVID protections to all borrowers for the next 18 months through October of 2024.
Okay.
I'm going to show my age. I'm going to help Ben.
Not having
36% increase in foreclosure filings, January 23 versus 22. 18% in February. 45% increase in completed foreclosures.
So a lot of those
huge difference.
Yeah, there is that's comparing the pre-moratorium expiration to the post-moratorium expiration, and that was anticipated. You had a lot of bottlenecked loans in there, loans that should have gone to foreclosure but couldn't because of the foreclosure moratorium, and that's why we saw a huge spike in January and February following the lifting of the moratorium. I think things have started to stagger off a bit. I don't have the exact numbers, but just judging from the numbers that I'm seeing across my desk, you're seeing some stabilizing of the foreclosure market, and I think that's because lenders are utilizing those loss mitigation tools. Many foreclosures that are started are not completed because these loss mitigation tools are in effect. Now, given that this 18-month period,
I was going to say it's only 18 months.
Well, so we thought it was going to end in May.
Extended? We don't know.
We don't know, and then it's funny. This kind of reminds me of the old joke that when do you start getting worried? It's when when somebody comes to your door and says, "We're here from the government. We're here to help."
Right.
So the government is helping the borrowers, but at what expense? It could be a short-term fix, creating long-term consequences. And why do I say that? Going back to the lessons we learned in the foreclosure crisis in 08-09 and all the practices we changed, we're seeing some of those aspects show up in the loss mitigation process now. So the HUD guidelines say we're now going to, and one of the loss mitigation programs is allowing a borrower to reinstate their loan. It's called a partial claim if they can make the payment every month. But what happens to the arrearages? The arrearages get put on either the back of the loan or a second mortgage, actually, where they capitalize on an interest-free loan, all of the arrearages. Previously, it was up to 25% of the loan principal balance. Now you can go 30% under the new guidelines. So we're talking about borrowers that are now going to have upwards of 100% loan to value